Let's bring in the Hall of Famer, Reggie Miller. Boy, Reggie has a great Sunday. Every Sunday, Reggie gets to sit down and watch Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. This is the worst assignment you've had probably since you were in school at UCLA, Reg.
Oh, my goodness. I would take UCLA right now as opposed to this education I'm going through every Sunday. But I will say, watching, I think it was the end of episode 7 last night. MJ, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to apologize of what your DNA is, because this is what I tell people. At the end of the day, the headline is not going to be Bill Whittington let us down, B.J. Armstrong let us down, Judd Buechler let us down, Steve Kerr, not even Scottie Pippen. The headline is going to be Michael Jordan. So you have to be a taskmaster. You have to whip guys into shape. Don't apologize for that. That's your DNA. That is how I was somewhat raised, because I was raised by Magic and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper. Win at all costs. Absolutely. And if you don't want to fall in line, you see the door, bye-bye. I don't want to hear it. And when it's funny because when Steve Kerr is kind of reminiscing on the fight, that's every Tuesday. That's every Wednesday during the 90s, during practices. You always fought your teammates. I think in today's age of social media, it would have been blown up. But when I'm looking at that, I'm like, yeah, so? Okay. They got in a fight. You know how many times I got in a fight with Dale Davis, Antonio Davis? I mean, so? That happens.
Did you ever throw a punch?
Of course. That's what fights are. What, you think fights are words?
Yes. A lot of some pushing and shoving. I solve problems with words, Reggie.
Well, we didn't solve problems with words. Afterwards, we would talk it out. Yeah. But sometimes you got to have a little tough love. So what? When he was, got emotional about it, before this doc came out, he was talking about, people are going to think, they're going to see me in a different light, and they're going to think I'm a bad person. Yeah, we all know that, MJ. We all knew that. I'm like, so what? That's what made him great.
I was surprised that he cared this much about being liked, because I don't think Michael, when he played, cared about being liked. He wanted to be feared, and he wanted to be respected. Maybe he's mellowing a little bit here.
I don't think so. To me, if you're asking me personally, this is what I personally feel. I think that's an act. I think he could care less what people think, really.
Wait, you think the crying last night was an act?
No, that was real.
Oh, okay.
That was real, but I don't think he cares what people think. That's what made him MJ. That's what made him the Black Cat, Black Jesus. That's what made him.
But when he goes to the Hall of Fame and he makes it a roast, these are all accomplished people. Like, Mike never turned it off. And you can imagine, hey, I'm going to make fun of Scotty Burrell and Judd Buechler and Bill Whittington. I'm making fun of Hall of Famers to their faces there.
That's why I'm saying he can care less what people think about him, because he can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it's his DNA. And that's what made him great. When he says, because you've never won anything, that's what it is. It takes a level. You got to go to different and dark places, and he has. And I don't think he should apologize for that, because he is the GOAT. Yeah. He's the greatest player of my generation, of any generation. And he shouldn't have to apologize for how he is wired, because he brought a lot of joy to the city of Chicago and a lot of money in a lot of people's pockets, his teammates, the league. So he shouldn't have to apologize for that. Are there things that I'm sure he wishes he could have said or done differently? I'm sure. But that's not his DNA.
But why can't he give credit where credit is due? He gives.
If there's one thing I do, there's ways like him laughing at Gary Payton.
That was wrong.
To me, that is wrong, because there's ways he could have said, yeah, you know what, he made me work, in those 2 games, but, I came back and gave it to them. There's ways he could have framed it. But guess what, guys? That's why he has 6 finals MVP, and the GOAT, right? That's why he threw shade at Clyde. He threw shade at Dan Marley. He's throwing shade at Isaiah. I'm next week. So, this is what made him.
Wait,
right?
do you know?
Never going to give credit to anyone.
Do you know what's going to happen next week? Have you
I
been
have
told?
no idea what is going to happen.
If I
But
knew,
I'm
would
just
you want to
following
know?
the pattern of what I've been watching, and he has killed everyone. Craig Elo, Dan Marley. He threw shade at Clyde. He had not being equal. He just laughed in Gary Payton's. Gary was Defensive Player of the Year, Hall of Famer. You're right. It doesn't matter. I think the only people he probably hasn't thrown shade, maybe Magic, Larry. I think those guys are what helped pave the way for him. But us little minions that came after him, heck no.
Oh God, there's part of me that hopes he goes after you.
He's going.
But that's because you got to it. Like he's going after you if there was really something that was going on.
And that's why I want people to understand him laughing and people wanting to throw shade at Gary Payton. He's laughing because he knew Gary brought it, and Gary wasn't backing down. Gary's one of those dudes you can walk through an alley with, right?
Yeah.
So he's laughing at that, but MJ knew. Come on, man. He knew. So, again, I don't know, nor do I care, but as long as at the end of the day, he respected me, and maybe he doesn't respect me, I don't care. I really don't, but it was fun.
Are you sure?
That he respected me or didn't respect me?
No, that you don't care.
I don't care.
Really?
I don't care for you. I don't care if MJ likes me or not.
Well,
really?
No, respect is one thing.
Well, whatever. So, if he does, if he doesn't.
Okay.
Is that going to change my life?
No.
Okay, it's not going to change my life.
Do you say anything negative about him?
I can't remember.
Come on.
Truly, I can't remember. It was a few months ago. Maybe. I don't know.
Paulie, would you text the director,
I'm on it,
Jason Hare, and ask if Reggie said anything mean about Michael?
Well, hold on. Well, mean or him making up stuff. You never know. I could have said, hey, you were a little late on that screen, and he could have been like, he's the worst defensive player of all time. He could have stopped that. Right? So who knows in his mind what he's thinking. The whole LeBradford, because I do remember that. Any little slight, he was going to use. So, oh, well.
Did you say anything after a game to George? Did you say, good game?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I was taught, yes, but I was very young when I was a rookie, and he let me know. That's when the whole Black Jesus thing came up. He was like, "Don't ever speak to Black Jesus like that." I was like, "Wait, first of all, you're referring to yourself in the third party by calling yourself Black Jesus?" I said that to myself. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Wait. Hold on. So set the scene where Mike refers to himself in third person.
I'm a rookie. Exhibition game. We're playing in one of these crazy small towns because that's where exhibition games are to kind of spread the wealth and the love of basketball. And Mike's going through the motion. It's an exhibition game. Who cares? I'm a rookie. I'm going 130 miles an hour because I'm trying to show my teammates, and you're going against Michael Jordan. And Chuck Person's egging me on, like, that's Michael Jordan? Really? Look what you're doing to him. First half. Michael's just going through it, right? I got 10 or 12 by half. He has 2 or 4, and I'm just talking to him like, you can walk on water? That's what they say? This is it? This is Air Jordan? And he looks at me. He's like, okay. So the second half, he ends with 45. So I had 10. I ended with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as we're walking off, he subtly says, "Hey, don't ever talk to Black Jesus like that." And I looked at him, and I looked at Chuck, and Chuck shrugged his shoulder. I was like, "You're right, Black Jesus." And I just kept walking off. And that's kind of what probably started our somewhat contentious relationship. But I should have known better, but I can't hold my tongue. That's my problem.
But do you think that he respected the fact that you went at him?
We'll find out next week, now, won't we?
Oh, God. I can't wait. I just hope that Mike unloads on you.
He will.
I do.
Yeah, but that was my thinking. Like when people are saying, yeah, we all know how that turned out, you trying to retire Michael Jordan. Is that wrong for me? Wait a minute. That should be my thinking.
Yes. I
can't speak for the rest of my teammates, but that was my thinking. Like, this is my chance. I've got a team. I got my guys. You have your guys. You're the champs. You're Michael Jordan. I do want to retire you. God. It didn't happen, but that should be my thinking.
You guys should have won. You guys.
Stop it. You're going to make it hurt. It hurt.
You guys had a great team. You had a better all-around team than the Bulls did. It
hurts. It really does hurt. And more so Game 7, too, in their place, because it was all set up. I mean, we're up 6. See, this is how well you know it, because people always say, God, you made so many great moments. It's not the great moments I relive. It's the hurtful ones that are on rewind in my brain. We're up 6, that jump ball between Scottie Pippen and 7'4" Rick Smith, and it's on their side. If we win that jump ball, because it's on their side of the court, if we win that jump ball, go down the score, we go up 8 with like under 4 to go. You can start massaging the game by then.
Yeah.
They win the tip. Scottie wins the tip. The ball finds its way to Steve Kerr. He knocks down a 3, and from 6 to 3, and it was like a snowball effect after that. We just couldn't hold on. And I just relived that moment over and over. If we could have won that jump ball and scored and just put more pressure on. Not to say we would have ended up winning, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. So, yeah, it's the hurtful moments you remember more.
Are you sure you're going to be emotionally ready to talk about this next Monday?
Yes. It's good to talk it out, especially with family like yourself and my Danettes. It's good. It'll be good.
Wait, what's your wife think about this, Reg?
I'm glad people get a sense of how competitive things were in the 90s and the 80s, really, late 80s. But to have a camera and see him going off, and if people can understand, that's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. How he was railing off on his teammates. That's nothing, guys. That's easy trash talk. If you could understand what goes on between games, oh my God, people, that is nothing what you're seeing.
Do you need an emotional support dog?
I need something. I really do. It's good because I'm watching this with Mama Bear, and I tell her, go sit on the other side of the couch because my palms are sweaty and then when the commercials come and she's looking at me and, I got like sweat coming down. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay because it brings back those memories, good and bad. And I'm excited about next week because I know he's going to kill me, but I'm going to take it as a badge because he's gone after everyone else in this docuseries, so you might as well come after us.
You should wear your full uniform next Sunday night.
You know what? I'm going to try to – I have to have some uniform. I am. I'm going to take some pictures. Get your
sweatbands on and full uni.
I never wore a headband as a player, but if I can find a headband, I'm going to put a headband on, and I'm going to watch. I am going to watch this in full garb. Yes, I will.
Oh, that's good. Hey, before I let you go, Shaq says that we shouldn't have a season because nobody's going to recognize this year's champion as a true champion. What do you make?
I think they will definitely recognize it, but I do agree. I think we're getting to that point where we may need to just scrap this and start anew next year. I just don't see any positive things coming out of restarting this. We're 2 months in now, right?
Yeah.
I think we'll get a lot of injuries once we come back because guys are going to try to – they won't train right. And you see a lot of these injuries at the start of the season because guys are not in shape. I just don't see any benefit from it. So I think if we do resume play and there is a champion, there won't be an asterisk behind it because it's still a championship, just like the lockout year when San Antonio won and Phil Jackson was saying there's going to be asterisks. No, you ended up winning the championship. You'll be recognized as that. But I do agree with him. We should start really looking at next season and just starting fresh.
Well, leave it to LeBron to win this year so then people have more of an argument that it doesn't really count as a championship. With this whole Jordan phenomenon going on, it would be so LeBron-like to win and then have people hold it against him.
And not only that, let's say they do scrap the season and we start again next year in October, November, December, or whenever they think about starting again. LeBron's a year older now, too.
Yep.
That's the only thing. And he was having an MVP. He wasn't going to win the MVP. To me, that was Giannis. But he was 1A and 1B. He was going to be second in the MVP voting.
All right. Just get ready. Gear up Sunday night like you're gearing up for a game. What music did you listen to in the locker room before games?
Tupac.
Oh.
I was a huge Tupac fan. So,
All right.
yes.
All right.
All eyes on me. So I'll probably be having that playing as I'm in full Pacer gear. And it's ready to go. All eyes on me.
And a guard out of UCLA, 6 foot. Are you 6'7" or 6'6"?
6'7".
6.
Give me my inch. He was 6'6". I was 6'7", but it didn't matter.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, my God. Y'all are going to kill me next week, but it's going to be so fun. It's going to be so fun.
Thank you, Reg. I'll talk to you next Monday.
Y'all the best.
Oh,
Love you,
man.
Dad.
This is going to be so good.